What's going on, guys? I think it's all in day 41, something like that. Let's take a look at what price action did today. We had this daily gap here on both indexes. As you can see here, you could see here this daily gap. Today was very long. You could see about 7 o'clock here. Price had ripped up about 800 points today. This is not what I wanted to see upon waking up ready to trade on a Monday morning, but we do not get to pick and choose what the market does. And keep that in your head, that you do not control the market, that you're not able to pick what the market does, and the market surely as hell does not listen to you. So let's just keep that in the back of our heads now. We got this big candle, just absolutely insane. I was not even trying to trade today just because of this, and so we still sat here and we watched. Now, this is definitely more of a lower time frame trade. I did want to see this fair value gap, this 1 hour fair value gap, to get tapped into, so the price to move higher, and or this equilibrium here, which did not get hit. But one of the two I wanted to see come down and come back up out of and move higher. Now, we did not see that upon market open. Instead, price was moving down in this downtrend here at about 8 o'clock. And when market open here, came down, took out these 5-minute lows. Are we serious? Alright. Fuck you. Peep Togi. Alright. We'll just do it on here. Market open, took out these 5-minute lows, retracing into this 15-minute equilibrium here. So you can see there, right here. This was the retracement in the 15-minute equilibrium. I don't believe there was a gap. There was no gaps, just the 15-minute equilibrium. Retracing right here. Now, this would have been the best possible entry. But like I said, I was looking for price to come down into this range, into a higher time frame PD array, and move higher out of it. I didn't have much on the higher time frame to align my bias with or have a narrative. So that's why I was looking for price to come down here. Either if price went up higher. This is my analysis for today. This is what I had thought. If I had to go higher, for price to come up higher, for it to move lower towards this zone that was within my span that I trade, to take a trade, I would have taken shorts. Now, if price market open came down into this range and moved higher, I would have taken longs. So this was pretty much my draw on liquidity for today that I had certainty about. Now, it ended up getting hit, but not during my session of trading. I got off about 10:30, so I was like, well, that's it. That's pretty much the move that happened. So right around, market open, got the 5-minute sweep, right? London had already swept these lows, so I could have very well taken this trade. But like I said, I was too focused on the fact that I wanted price to come down into this this 1 hour range here, and that led me to be so stuck on my perspective and what I wanted from the market instead of observing what the market is doing and what I should be looking for. So coulda, shoulda, woulda. We had 1 hour sweep down here, or session sweep, whatever you want to call it. It's a higher time frame PD array, and that's what I've been trying to incorporate, is just it doesn't necessarily have to be a liquidity sweep, but it has to be a higher time frame liquidity pool or range that orders are willing to get filled and to move higher. Now, does that entail equilibrium? Does that entail fair value gap? Or does that entail liquidity? Either one of those, I have to see presented in a 1 hour, 4 hour time frame to want to take my trade. Now, we had already gotten that, so that's the first step. But I wanted to see price to come down here into this 1 hour range. Now, we didn't get that until later. But let's get back to it. Around here, this would have been my best entry that I had seen. You know, after I saw the price play out, I was like, all right, well, it's game over anyway. So I did see this entry at the time that it presented itself. And if anything, price looked like it was wanting to take out these 15-minute highs up here, and it did. This would have been the trade that I would have taken, or could have been here too. It could have been this retracement here, right, or this retracement here. Any of these in this range, we had two different retracements that I could have entered off of, but like I said, I was too hyper focused on what I wanted to see instead of what the market was presenting to me, which caused me to but miss a trade. So this was pretty much the move that had happened. I get off around here. I got off around 10:30 after price had already taken out these highs, but usually my session extends into 11, very much to look at here. I mean, I could have traded back up to this, but at this point I was just done. I was just ready to go and get off and go to the gym. I had seen enough, and like I said, I didn't see what I wanted to see, so I didn't enter, and that is a dangerous mindset to be in. Dangerous mindset to be in. Because then, like today, I'm not going to find anything, I'm not going to catch anything if I want to see what I want to see. And that is not the mentality to come into trading with. With trading, you need to be available and in the flow with market, and I simply was not that today. So that is my mistake. That is what I'm pointing out, and that's what I've seen. You know, I saw within myself, and I knew it. I knew it as soon as price had already started coming up around this retracement. I was like, wow, I really just missed it, and I was not, adding this as a variable. Looking at a variable that didn't happen until later. So today, I was simply, like being too, what's the word? Obedient? Nah. I don't know. I wasn't acknowledging what price was actually doing. That's the best way I could put it. And that's the way it is. I mean, we saw the 5-minute sweeps, we had the 1 hour sweep, we had the 5-minute sweep, and we had the retracement within this 15-minute gap here. And that's 1, 2, 3, that's all we need. Now, this is what my strategy entails. This is what I've been practicing and what I've been backtesting. Basically, taking from what I was using and making it a bit better into what I've been seeing within the market. Now, market open. Get an idea of what you think is going to happen. Now, that doesn't mean what you think is going to happen is what's going to happen. So you need to account for what market is actually doing and what price is actually doing. So that I stated that here. I said, all in all, let the market show you what it wants to do. Do not conform to one single bias. Be in flow with the market. So, like I said, what I mean by that is to be observant and to see what the market is showing you instead of instilling what you want to see in the market. Does that make sense? So just simply look at the market with no bias. Like you can look at the order flow and the structure. Like today, like there wasn't a lot of structure other than this candle, and that led me to believe bullish moves. This was a bullish move. This was a long, and I was looking for other higher time frame confluences to confirm that. We didn't get that, so it's all right. But there was a trade to be had, for sure. So once you analyze and look at what the market is telling you. Now, what you see before market opens and what you plot out, what you think, could be totally different from what the market does. So be in flow with the market. 2. High time frame PD array hit. Where orders are to be filled. Like I said, 4-hour fair value gap, highs and lows, equilibrium session highs and lows. That's where all orders within ICT concepts are lying. That's why you see when price retraces into a fair value gap, moves higher. And we use the higher time frame because it is stronger. Now, to pinpoint our entry, this is where we get down into the lower time frames and we look for if first 2 different things could happen. I like to trade within for a higher time frame PD array to be valid. I like it to be within London session, whether if that's London session sweeping Asia or London session within London session there's a 1-hour sweep. So like London session starts at 3. That's the way I interpret it. And if price came down into here pre-market, like with this candle, that would be option 1 here. Excuse me. Right here. If hit in London pre-market, look for 5-minute sweeps. Now this is what did happen today. So look, use this as an example. London swept Asia. Session high, session low, swept. That's our PD array hit for the day. And that's what is going to push price higher. So once we saw that, we see market open, price sweeps this 5-minute low. Boom. Now, inside lower time frame PD array, fair value gap, equilibrium, 15-minute, 5-minute time frame, right here. What did we get? This 15-minute equilibrium, right? In this 15-minute equilibrium here, right? This is the retracement. Price came down, so this 5-minute. Boom. Next, we go to 4 now. Once you see sweeps on the lower time frame, inside low time frame PD array, look for entry on the 1-minute. So this is the retracement. The entry would have been here. Now this would have been a hefty stop for sure, but played out in our favor, played out inevitably. And this would have been the trade. So we get this candle as a break of structure above these highs. That would have been the entry. And you can see here it says break of structure or inverse fair value gap. And then assured contracts are adjusted to designated risk. So what I like to do is to adjust my contracts based on what the trade requires rather than adjusting my trade or my stops to my contract size. I do it inverse to let my trade have space to play out and to actually have the adequate stop losses that I think that price would be invalid. So this would be an invalid down at these lows. If price came down lower than these lows, it would have been sure that price was going to reverse. So instead of what I said earlier, waiting for the second entry confirmation, this is what I have noticed and I have enacted within my strategy instead of the second entry confirmation. What you see most of the time is that 3B right here. If the PD array is hit market open, need confirmation, 5-minute break structure, or inverse fair value gap. So just say it hits a high, like here. Just say we're trading London. Swept these session lows. I need to see a break of structure here. So this is the 5-minute break of structure, or inverse fair value gap, doesn't matter. Something to show us that price is going to move in the direction, and look, it does. So I could probably just use this as an example, but we get the sweep. Just say we're trading a London session open. We get the sweep, sweeps Asia, get the 5-minute 5-minute break structure here from these highs to these highs. Oh wait, this is the 1 minute, sorry. So looked a little wonky. So what we got here is we actually got both. I mean, we got the inverse from these. We inverse these gaps, this whole imbalance here, from this candle. But the first candle that I seen was this one breaking structure above these highs, these. And so what I want to see after that is a retracement. So this high here, why is it doing this? This high, and we go down on the lower time frame. We see it broke structure around here. All right, so now we've got to look for higher time frame retracements. So let's do this because it's getting annoying. So break structure up here. We're looking for retracements. We see there's not much to look at here actually. Let's just say this retraced right here into a fair value gap, just for the case of the strategy. So let's just say it retraced within here, and now if you look on here, confirm price is moving in that direction. Boom, we got that. 1 minute sweeps inside lower time frame PD array, 15-minute fair value gap, or 5-minute fair value gap, EQ, whatever. And looking for the 1 minute sweeps is that second confirmation second entry confirmation that I was talking about I think last week. So within here, just say retracing this 5-minute. Just do this for the sake. So we're at boom, it retraces into this 5-minute, just say 5-minute gap, whatever, and this would have been our entry right here because it inverses this 1 minute fair value gap. Boom. So this candle inverses it. We set our stops below the 5-minute low, and we target 1 hour highs, 4 hour highs, or equilibrium, or wherever you think price is going to reverse off of, where price is going to fill orders in the opposite direction. So we got our entry, we got our orders filled in our direction. Now where's price going to fill orders in the direction to invalidate our trade to move us farther down? It would be here. This is a 1 hour high, and we were looking on the higher time frame because for the same reason that we were trading in this direction is because this higher time frame sweep, this higher PD array sweep. So we would do the same in the opposite direction. Now, if we let this trade play out, alright, we would have got swept out. Why? Why do you think that? Why does that happen? Because we're in this 4-hour gap. We're in a 4-hour gap, and that is where orders got filled. But that is basically the basis, regardless if it win or lost. That is the basis of this of the strategy that I've been using and working on. So price had reversed off this 4-hour, or 1 hour, sorry. This 1 hour gap. Orders got filled within this 1 hour gap because it respected it. And because of that, and I think it's also in equilibrium. Looks like it. Yeah. Also in equilibrium. So this is where orders got filled to move price lower, stop us out, and now our stops have been taken to use price to go higher. But yeah, that is the basis of my strategy. This was the addition, pretty much, is the 1 minute sweeps inside the lower time frame. So re-enter. So like, honestly, it'd be this one here. Actually be this. So I fucked it up. Like I said, new strategy. So this is the retracement zone. This is where it retraced on the 5 minute. And this is where we would see the 1 minute sweep. These lows swept these lows, and now we see price break structure above these highs. And now we can set our stops right here and target up here. But like I said, we got stopped out. But this is to confirm that price is to go higher, so that we don't enter prematurely, is pretty much because I tend to get stopped out early, and then price goes in my direction after it sweeps those 1 minute lows. Instead of taking the first entry, you wait for a 1 minute sweep, just like the 5 minute sweep. Same thing, just on a different time frame. So statistically, it is working out on backtesting. Backtesting is upholding that confidence, but it's still not proven within live trading. So this is a long ass video. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. Y'all have a good day. Just know that anything that you set your mind to, anything that you want to do in this life, do it, man. Do it because you want to, because you like to. Don't do something or take a certain path that doesn't align with your passion, doesn't align with your beliefs. Otherwise, you will be an unhappy person. You will be someone who regrets the decisions that they didn't take, or the opportunities that they didn't take earlier in life. And that is why I am pursuing this path, pursuing this journey. This is why I'm making these videos, and you know, I want to, you know, I want to share the same, you know, craziness I have in my head to even do this, to drop out of college and have this, solely this, to be my career, because it isn't. Most people are thinking this is unsafe, this is uncertain, and yes, it's a risk. Just like anything in life, you are not guaranteed a job nowadays. You are not guaranteed to you know, your life is not guaranteed every day. You could die at any moment. And to say that I didn't try something that I believed in and something that I truly wanted to do and had passion in, and I died before trying that, or I'm at my deathbed and I went through a whole life and I didn't do something when I was younger that I wish I had done. That is the mindset I have with this whole thing, with trading in general. So I hope y'all can like incorporate that and use it at your disposal. The one life that you have. God had given you this life to be creative, be yourself. He has given you the fruits of this world to express yourself, to do the things that you like to do. You don't necessarily do the things that everybody tells you to do, that society conforms you to. You do what you believe in. You do what you truly want to do. And that is why this earth was created. Why do you think we have so many inventions? Why we have, we have as a human evolution have evolved, is because people who believed in this have created television, have created the internet, have created the camera that I'm speaking through, that I'm visible through. We have evolved as humans because we have expressed ourselves and went outside of the conformity of society and done what we as humans have thought about and have been creative about. So use this idea and incorporate in your own life. It's scary, change is scary, but I believe that anybody can do anything. Absolutely every person on this earth can do anything that they want to do. With their life, they can change their life into the way that they want it to, not the way that society conforms you to do. So, and I think, it's most people, would disagree that college is there to send you in a direction that you don't truly believe in. College is there to sort of guide you, sure. But at the same time, I think there's also a different story behind it, is that everybody in the social norm is to go to college. And when people do that, they pretty much sign their life up to take the 9-to-5 path, which is not a bad thing. But if your heart is not in it, and if your heart is not into what you are majoring in or what you want to do with your life, then you're gonna be miserable. And I can guarantee that. I may have not made it to the end yet, but I can guarantee from multiple sources, multiple people at their deathbed have said that they wish they had done something different, that they had wished that they would have taken that risk. And if your passion and what you want to do with your life is risky, do it. I make these videos because I'm going to show y'all in real time. I don't care how long it takes. This could be day 100 and I'm still not profitable, but how long does it take? It takes forever. So I'm here to show you that I'm living proof in real time that I'm doing what I have sought out to do, that I have believed that I can do, that I want to do with my life. Because I didn't want to go to college. There was nothing in college that had interested me. The only thing that I've ever been interested in for a career path, or in general, is the online money space. And I think trading, and I believe that trading is that thing for me. Because the idea of my life that I want is I could work anywhere that I want to, at any amount of time I want to, and live comfortably. And trading is just that. So if y'all incorporate into your life, pursue something that you are passionate about. That could be the college path, whether you want to be a doctor or a lawyer. If you want to be an artist, be an artist. as long as it makes you happy. That is what God has created this earth for. So, anyways, guys, it's been a long yap. But hope y'all take that into consideration. So, anyways, guys, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.